am tired, deeply and utterly tired of allowing my past to get in the way of where I want to go. And it has to come to a point where you're tired of being tired, and so you make a change and you decide what's more important to you. Are you going to protect yourself from the fears of what if someone lets you down, what if someone disappoints you? I'm still here, and it's happened before.
I can see the stars align, dance around.
Hey Lions, welcome back to another episode of Lionhearted Conversations in the Lion's Pride. For those of you who are new here, my name is Precious Leon. I am a certified life coach and wellness enthusiast that is using this platform to learn, heal, and grow the mind, body, and soul, both collectively and as individuals, so that we can be the best lions that we can be. If this is something you want to be a part of, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Make sure that you follow and subscribe to this podcast so that you don't miss any episodes. They are uploaded every Wednesday morning at 8 a.m. All right, let's just jump into it because today I have a pretty sensitive topic to address and I have a lot to get off my chest. And that was a bar and it was unintentional, but I'm not a rapper. For today's Lionhearted Conversation, we are addressing hyper-independence. Now, before I dive into all that, for all of you who struggle with this, please give me a hand raise, emoji, something to let me know that I'm not alone, because this is something I have dealt with my whole life. Actually, give me 2 seconds. I was going through my Facebook today, and you know how it'll show you like memories or whatever on your timeline? Why 14 years ago, I was 11 years old, did I make a post that says, and I'm laughing because it's so sad. And I laugh to keep from crying. And I think it's just so ironic that today, of all days, when I am planning to have this conversation, I come across this. So like I was saying, 14 years ago, I was 11 years old. And I made a post that says, I can do bad all by myself because it ain't worth living my life depending on others. But when I say, I really had to ask myself, like, who hurt you?
You have been hurt by somebody, that much is clear. Who hurt you? Who hurt you? Who hurt you?
Because for real, like, 11 years old, I'm already having this mentality. And now, like, looking back on my being 25 years old, looking at my 11-year-old self, I'm like, she needed a hug, because for so long I've carried that narrative that I can do bad all by myself and I don't need help from anybody and I don't need anybody, and that is problematic. For a really long time, I used to identify as a lone wolf, and I feel like I've addressed this previously, but anyhow, I really struggled with that because I felt like I was alone in this world and that I didn't have anyone I could depend on and that it was just me, myself, and I. But however, a few years ago, someone helped me to realize that wolves are meant to be in packs. They are group animals. And the fact that there is a lone wolf that exists, it means that something went wrong in their life, that they are no longer a part of a pack. Now, that's not to say that you are not allowed to have your independence, but when you feel like you don't need anyone and you cut yourself off from people or you distance yourself in relationships, that is where the problem lies. And that is my problem that I've been struggling with for a really long time. What has inspired today's episode is a few days ago, I had to go through a rough procedure. And granted, a part of me wanted to go by myself, but there was a part of me that was afraid to go by myself. So I had asked my friend to go with me. Now, there was a bit of a disconnect in what we both expected from this experience. I expected for them to sit out in the waiting room and wait for me to be done, but they wanted to basically hold my hand and be there with me every step of the way. Now, in the grand scheme of things, there's nothing wrong with either perspectives. However, because of that disconnect, we ended up having an argument about it because in their mind, I didn't actually include them, which is a whole nother problem beneath the surface. But they ended up asking me in the middle of this discussion, why is it that you keep people at bay? Why is it that you don't allow people to get close to you? Mind you, I've been dealing with this for years now, and it is something that I have had to address in other relationships in my life. But it's something that I struggle with. I do keep 6 feet distance with everyone, whether that be my friends, my family, my partner. I only allow people to get as close as I want them to get because I'm afraid of being hurt, because I'm afraid of being disappointed, of being let down, of being a burden. And so what this conversation or what this recent experience has brought up for me is, regardless of the situation, whether it's something that's positive, like a success or something I'm pursuing, or whether it is a hardship, I don't allow people to be there for me. And that's not fair to myself as someone who is a human that naturally craves connection and belonging, but it's not fair to the people who are in relationship with me, my friends, my family, my significant other. What I realized is that my hyper-independence is a trauma response. And because so many times in my past, the people closest to me have hurt me or have let me down or have disappointed me, it is my way of protecting myself, but also to feel in control. And I had a recent coaching session with my coach, and she helped me to understand that because so many times as a child, I have been at the mercy of others, and at any given moment, my life could change drastically because of the adults in my life. As an adult now, I need to feel in control of everything when it comes to my life, which is why I control who I let get close to me. I control how I allow them to show up for me, how I allow them to support me or not. I control what they know about me because I'm afraid of how they may use it against me, how I may be judged, how I may be ridiculed or not accepted, whatever the case may be, how people may prey on your downfalls when it comes to the things you are pursuing. There has just been so many times where I have allowed my past to get in the way of what I could have now because of those fears. There have been so many times where I have not shared with my friends, like my best friends, what I have going on in my life until it's absolutely done. And granted, people will tell you when it comes to like your goals and your plans, keep them close to you, not just for the fear of people preying on your downfall, but when you speak about something so often in the way of I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, you oftentimes psych yourself out, or you trick your mind into thinking that it's already done, so you don't necessarily pursue it the way that you should or with the same energy or motivation. So I get it. But there have been times where like I genuinely want to share myself with the people around me, but I'm reluctant to because of what if they try to psych me out of it, or what if they project their fears onto me or try to give me suggestions about my vision. And if that alone is a need for control, because in my mind, I know what I want. I know what I want it to look like. I know what I want to say. And I don't want anyone's thoughts or feelings or opinions to infiltrate that. Now, granted, that being said, I am blocking myself from possible insight or just gaining someone's experience of how I could succeed on another level. And what I have to help myself realize is that just because someone gives their opinion doesn't mean I'm obligated to accept it or to honor it or to even allow it to dictate how I decide to maneuver in my life. The problem is we give people too much power over our lives. And I say all of that to say we cannot allow our past to influence our future or our present. That doesn't mean that you can't visit your past and reminisce and learn from it. But for so long, I have allowed the disappointments of others or people not showing up for me the way I need them to get in the way of me opening myself up to new relationships or friendships to where I've never given them the chance to even show up for me in a way of knowing what their capabilities are. You know, I'm immediately telling myself I can't trust them the way I need to trust them. I can't rely on them the way I want to, but I haven't even given them the chance to do so. Realistically speaking, how can people show up for you if you don't give them the opportunity to? You know what I mean? So I feel like I just spat all of that out, but that's truly where I'm at right now in my life is I'm tired. Deeply and utterly tired of allowing my past to get in the way of where I want to go. And it has to come to a point where you're tired of being tired, and so you make a change and you decide what's more important to you. Are you going to protect yourself from the fears of what if someone lets you down, what if someone disappoints you? I'm still here and it's happened before. So why not take the risk? And it's so ironic that I just said that because several times in the past weekend, I have had so many conversations about taking risks. And the problem is, it all goes back to my need for control. There's so many messages here, but my need for control in the sense of I only make calculated risk. If I know without a shadow of a doubt that I'm going to succeed, I'm going to take that risk. If I am more doubtful and more discouraged to do so, I'm not going to. But that's the problem. And my little brother said this to me. He said, you can't, how did he say it? I think it's something along the lines of you can't live life without taking risks or something like that. But he said it so much more eloquently and it hit my soul because he was absolutely right. I can't get to where I want to be without taking risks. And I'm at a point in my life where, you know what? Fuck it, we ball. Like, charge it to the game. I'm tired of holding myself back. And whatever happens was meant to happen. And I can learn from it. But I'm done allowing my fears to get in the way of what is meant for me. And I'm done allowing past hurt to cloud my judgment of current blessings. And that's a bar because I block my blessings so many times by struggling in silence, by feeling like I have to carry the burdens myself. And not even to mention the fact that I will overcompensate in my relationships for others, to show up for them, to show that I am dependable and that they can rely on me and that I am here when they need me, but I won't give them the same opportunity. And how unfair is that? Because at the end of the day, our relationships are mutually beneficial. So you can't give and not take. And this may be hard for a lot of givers to grasp, but how are you going to give if you don't have anything in your cup? And you know how you get something in your cup? You allow others to pour back into you, and you pour into yourself. Like I said from the beginning, just because you depend on others or allow others to be there for you does not take away your independence. We are allowed to embrace our independence, but we also need to embrace that we are a part of a collective life here, a source that is much bigger than ourselves. And we can't get to where we want to be without people helping us get there. All right. I love you guys so much, and I appreciate you joining in on today's Lionhearted Conversation. Please comment, share, like, let me know what you gained from this conversation. Let me know your own perspective of it, your own experience with hyper independence, and how you are overcoming it or what you still may struggle with. Okay? You know where to find me. I'll leave everything down below. Be easy.